Hey, what's going on guys? It's that Bill Bath here and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now today I've got something very different for you all, and as you can see, I'm not wearing my watch. Where could it be? Well, it's actually in front of me right now, and the reason for that is because we're going to be doing a watch review. And I know, a watch review? That's crazy. We've never done anything like that before. But hey, I thought, why not try it out, do something different? I mean, hey, Shmee does it, Mr. JWW does it, a lot of car YouTubers seem to do watch reviews on their channel. And I thought, hey, why not give it a go and see how we do? Now, as you know, I have the Tudor P01, a very awesome and very unique watch. And well, without wasting any more time, let's dive straight into it. So today's video is going to be quite different. I mean, hey, the whole idea itself is very different to what we usually do, but the way I'm recording it is going to be different too, because hey, it's just my hands and just the watch. And that's how it's going to be. I mean, that's how actual watch channels record their videos, by just having the watch and the hands to review it. And well, we're going to start off by properly unboxing it. I mean, hey, can't be a watch review without some unboxing action. And hey, I think it would be awesome to do a little unboxing. I've always wanted to do that for a video. And let's start off by taking off this sleeve here. Nothing special, just holds the boxes together. And let's start with this lovely piece right here, which is the outer box that actually holds another box inside it. A lot of boxes, but I really do love the design of them. They look really, really nice. And you get this with pretty much all of the Tudors. And oh, it's just so nice. Really, really lovely to have. Really nice display piece as well, and oh, it just looks so good. So we've got this nice glossy material all around it with the Tudor logo on top. Really, really nice. But if we take the top off this one and put that to the side, we now have another box to look at. If we just fold this out here and just take away this styrofoam material, we can see another lovely box. And this one is even nicer than the one we just looked at, because it's actually a split material, and we'll get to that in a second. But if we just take this out and put it to the side here, this box is pretty much just the same as the lid, but we've got the styrofoam protecting it, and we do actually have another Tudor logo on this piece here, which looks very nice. So if you intend to display this box, folding this piece out with the watch on show would look very nice indeed. So if we just put that to the side too, and here is the main piece itself, the box that holds the watch. And hey, this looks just as good as the watch, I've got to admit. We've got this lovely gloss material on the top half here with a very nice shadow logo of Tudor there. Very sweet, looks really good. And on the bottom half we actually have a really nice gloss black wood material going on, which looks super nice. I love this detail of wood and then the other material on top here. And we actually have a nod to the classic boxes too. If we take a look at the bottom, and if I just put that the right way round, as you can see it says Monterey Tudor, which is actually a reference to the classic boxes. So that's a really nice little nod there. I love that they did that. And just the boxes themselves, I mean, we haven't even got to the watch yet, but I'm already loving it just because of the boxes. They just go to town on these box designs, and it may not look like much, but the detail is just lovely. Now, it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of this review. Ta-da! The watch itself. Now here we have the P01, and guys, I have a lot of facts and things to tell you about this watch today, but just going over the main box itself, on the inside of it, again, another Tudor logo. You cannot get confused about what this is, because they definitely let you know it's a Tudor. And hey, the watch itself is looking really sweet, but we'll get to that in a second. If we just take the cushion out here, I'll show you the watch itself. Very nice. We'll definitely get into that in a minute or two. Just set that aside here. Actually, we'll take it off the cushion and just set the watch down very carefully. The cushion's very nice. Now, the watch does sit a little bit weirdly on it. I can never seem to properly get it on the cushion, but I can get it in the box and close the lid without it hitting anything, so it's fine. You guys might have a different experience, but I just find that I can't never get it properly in the box, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. Very nice little cushion, and of course we do have all the manuals and stuff like that. We have the user manual and other stuff too. We also have the hand tag, which I love having with watches. It's always good to have your hand tag, and we'll just put that back in the box. We've got some other nice compartments too, and this one I do believe comes out, but it is a little bit hard to do. Now, usually with other Tudor watches, you would have another strap in here, whether that be a NATO, a bracelet, who knows, but usually there'll be another strap in there. Mine did not come with another strap, so that part was empty. And this piece is very, very fiddly. It can be very difficult to put back in the box. You've really got to wrestle it sometimes. I'll meet you back in a sec. So I've installed the piece back in the box, and now with the box all done, all reviewed, it's time to put this out of the way to get to the main piece itself, the P01. So I'll just set this box down next to me, and here we have the Tudor P01 or P01. I like to call it the P01 because I just kind of find it rolls nicely off the tongue, but it really, really is a lovely watch. Now, there is a massive, awesome backstory to this watch, and how about I tell you it? Now, originally, this was actually going to go into the US Navy, and this was, as it suggests in the name, a prototype. Now, the US Navy wanted a watch that would tick all their boxes. Rolex decided to make a watch, but sadly, it did not get approved. Two of them were kept by the US Navy, and the other two were sent back to Rolex, and they kept them as well. Now, I believe that one of them are still in the archives. One of the original Rolex P01s, they still have it. But it's really cool that Tudor decided to make their own variant and make a P01, and honestly, it is pretty much spot on. There's only one thing that I have to say, but we'll get to that in a bit. But just taking a look at the design itself, it's super unique, super nice. I mean, that's the reason I love this watch so much, because of its design. As you can see, it's just super, super cool, and just the way it looks is so different to your average watch. Now, like I said, this was originally a Rolex, and back in the day, in '67, there were a few of these about, and this was the original design. So Tudor have done a spot-on job by recreating it, and it just looks so, so good. Now, I've had this for about, I want to say around 2 years now, a really good amount of time, and it has worn very well. It's still pretty much in great condition, and I have no complaints about it. I just love it. I wear this every single day, and it's just a watch for all uses. Now, this is pretty much a diver's watch, and I haven't really used it underwater because I don't really go in water much, so I haven't had the chance to properly test out its diving functionality. But with it being a diver's watch, I imagine it is very, very good indeed. Now, if we take a look at the case itself, it is super, super sweet. I believe that this is a 42mm case, and it just wears so well on my wrist. As you've seen in many of my previous videos, I always wear this watch, and it sits very nicely, and it's very, very comfortable too. I've never had any issues while wearing it. It's super, super nice. Now, if we take a look at the dial, it's super, super clean. I just love the way this looks. It's so, so nice. And as we can see, we've got Tudor instead of Rolex, and a very, very nice design on the dial itself. Now, there's one thing I don't really understand about this watch, and a lot of divers' watches usually have minutes instead of hours. And actually, if I just grab this Tudor right here, this one actually records in minutes instead of hours. And well, if we put them side by side, just try and grab this properly here for you guys. As you can see, the P01 records in hours, while this one right here, the Black Bay Red, records in minutes. Very, very strange. I've never understood why Tudor decided to make this record in hours instead of minutes, because of course, divers' watches usually record in minutes. So very strange. I've never understood that. What's going on, Tudor? What's going on? But either way, I still think it's very, very nice. This one is also very, very sweet, and I will be recording a video for this watch too, so stay tuned for that, because this one is just as nice, and I'd love to record a review for it too, so we'll do that in the future. But coming back to the P01, yeah, like I said, it's just a very weird thing that they decided to do. I mean, hey, I'm not fussed by it, but for a diver's watch, it just doesn't make any sense to record in hours. Very, very weird. But I don't mind. Like I said, it's fine. Now, I love the way this crown sits at the side here. It's just such a nice design, very military, and it's just so cool. Now, like I said, this did go into the US Navy, but it didn't get accepted. Other watches like the Blancpain 50 Fathoms and a few other watches too were accepted and got the role, but this one sadly didn't and just went back to Rolex. But like I said, I'm glad that Tudor decided to make a recreation of it, and it's pretty much spot on. It's lovely. So if we take a look at the strap now, this is another thing I don't understand about the watch. We're just kind of getting all the little quirks out of the way here. As you can see, it's a leather strap, which is very confusing indeed, because this is a diver's watch. It should be on a tropic or anything other than leather. I've just never understood why they decided to go with a leather strap on a diver's watch. What's going on? It makes no sense. And another thing that's making no sense are these keepers. They're not really doing very well. I mean, for the 2 years that I've had it, they have done well. So I guess, you know, I can't really say they haven't done well when they have. But recently they have gone a little bit worn, not in best condition. They're still fine. I can still use them. But for a watch that retails around 3,700 to sometimes 4,000, what's going on, Rolex? P01, Tudor, why? What's going on?
Bruh.
I'm not having this. I'm not having it, guys. I'm not having it. But I still think they're right for the watch, and I don't mind them being on there. Like I said, I don't really use this for diving or going underwater, but if you did intend to go underwater with this watch, this wouldn't really last that long. Now, I've got to admit, wearing this watch for 2 years, the strap has aged quite nicely. It's still looking very nice. It's sort of gone a darkish brown. If you've seen the P01 in Jeweller's Windows, you'll have seen that the strap is a little bit lighter, but it has been washed and it has been used, so it has gone a little bit dark brown. But I like that. I think it looks really nice how it is, and just overall, the design of this watch is timeless. It really is. It's timeless, and it just looks fantastic. It has a locking mechanism as well, which is really sweet. And just take a look at this clasp here. It's really nice. We do have, if I just flip it over, the Tudor logo on there too, which looks really nice. Pretty sweet indeed. And then we do have a few other Tudor logos. As you can see there, not the best lighting, I apologise, but as you can see, really nice indeed. So, in terms of design and style, this watch definitely gets a 10 out of 10. Now, what about some other bits and bobs that you might want to know? Well, this does have a 70-hour power reserve, which is very good indeed. So, if you took this off on a Friday and then put it back on Monday, it would still be going, which is very impressive indeed. And I actually have had an instance once where I left this off for a few days and put it back on, and it was still going, still running fine, hadn't lost that much time at all, and it was perfect. So you can leave this off for a little while, put it back on, and still be fine, which is great. I just think it's a fantastic watch. It really is. It does have a hybrid strap as well, which I did forget to mention a few minutes ago, but hybrid strap, still though, leather, what's going on? I can't be having that. I do actually have a Tropic though for this watch, and I did actually swap it on a few months back and wore it on a Tropic, and I must say it did make it more original in a way. It made it hark back to the original 67 design and just made it a bit more authentic in a way. And I wore it for a few months and it was just fantastic. It made it more of a diver's watch. So I might probably go back to Tropic. Of course, it smells fantastic too. If you own a Tropic strap, you'll know that they smell very nice indeed. But the leather strap, it does do all right. It's fine for the watch, I think. If you just to wear it out and about, it's fine. It's all right. But for diving, yeah, not so great. But apart from that, it's pretty much a great watch. I mean, P stands for prototype. I mean, it would do. And number 1 stands for 1. So everything from the name, the story, the design is just really great and just harks back to the time when they tried to make it a proper military watch. Now, as for the movement, it does have an MT5612. And I must say, it is a fantastic movement indeed. It's in-house too. None of that ETA stuff. We don't want any of that in these watches. Can't be doing with that. But it's a really, really great movement. I'd recommend this watch because of the movement. It's super, super good. It really doesn't lose any time at all. It's been pretty accurate for the 2 years that I've had it, and I can't complain. It's just a great watch that works well. Now, as for prices, I did mention a few minutes ago that this would go from anywhere around 3,700 to 4,000. I have seen a few on sale recently in a few jewelers for around 3,600, so they are coming down in price a little bit. But if you go over to places like eBay, you'll see that some of them are selling for almost £6,000, which is absolutely bonkers. I don't know what's going on with the market, but in terms of prices for this watch, it could be pretty much anywhere really. But you'd be looking around 3,700 for this watch right here, MSRP, which I actually don't think is too bad at all. I think that's a pretty good price for the watch. I mean, what you get with it as well, the box and the watch itself, I'd say that's a pretty good bargain. As I say on the channel, it's a deal, it's a steal, it's a sale of the century. But overall, I really do think it's a lovely watch. I mean, if we look at the back here of the case, I don't know how well you can see that, but we do have some little bits and pieces on the back, which looks very, very nice. And overall, I just really, really do love this watch. I mean, even this part here is the Tudor logo, which is just so, so cool. Attention to detail on this watch, I would say is unmatched, but pretty much all of the Tudor watches have this same attention to detail, design, styling. It's just super nice. It's just this one has a very, very unique design to it because it does hark back to that original Rolex prototype. So it's really, really cool to get this nowadays. And well, if you want one, I think you should hurry because I do believe these are going to be discontinued very soon. I mean, it's pretty hard to find these in shops anyway, but it's going to be even harder very soon because not many of them are going to be left for sale. The only
crown as well.
Yeah, and as the legend himself just said, my dad, it's got a proper crown, which is what you want. A lot of Tudors nowadays don't seem to have that proper crown, but if I just grab the other Tudor here, the Black Bay, as you can see, this one has a proper crown too, and they've started introducing these proper crowns back on some of the Black Bays, which is a really, really nice thing that they've done. Really glad that they decided to do that. But if you want an older Tudor with a proper crown, then you'll be happy to know that the P01 does have one too. So here we have two watches with proper crowns attached to them. So that's good stuff right there. If you are really, really into crowns, then there you go. These two have proper ones. And if I just carefully set this aside again. So there you go. What is not to like about this watch? The price is great, the design is great, the movement is fantastic, and it just doesn't lose any time at all. I mean, I'm really, really impressed by this watch, and it's never really had any problems, I must say. Now, of course, in a few years' time, this probably will go for a Rolex service. So this is the last time that you'll be seeing this in its condition. And I have sort of liked having it in this condition because it sort of makes it like it's got battle scars in a way. I mean, in life, you can't prevent these things sometimes. You may wallop it, you may scratch it a little bit, but with military watches, you'll find that it kind of makes it cooler in a way, and you sort of want to keep them. I mean, I myself do like things being clean and scratchless. Is that a word? I don't know, but I've just made it up and I'm going to use it. So I do like my things being, you know, in good condition. But when it comes to the P01, I've liked it being a little bit rugged and scratched up. I mean, to be fair, it still looks pretty pristine. I mean, there's no dents on it and anything like that. It's still pretty nice, but I don't know. I've just found when it comes to this watch that I don't mind it being a little bit dinged up. I mean, obviously, with any person with a watch, I do get a little bit worried when something happens to it, but you sort of don't get that mad stress like you would do on a Rolex, like a proper one, like an Air King or an Oyster, anything like that, because you would start to worry if you did ding this up. But I find it's been pretty alright. I mean, you could ask my dad about that experience. I mean, there was a certain scenario with a Casio and an Air King that, well, didn't end very well, I must say, but when I changed to this, everything was fine, and I found it was alright. Previously, before this watch, I did own a Hoya Monaco. It was the modern rendition of the original Hoya Monaco, the Steve McQueen one, the awesome one. And I did own the normal version instead of the Gulf one, because there are two variants, the Gulf variant and the normal one. I bought the normal one, and I was stressing every day, mainly because I didn't want to ding it up. That's one of those watches you want to keep pristine, because if something happens, tears are going to start to roll. But yeah, I found this one really, really great, and it is certainly a looker, and it gets attention, that's for sure. Every watch shop I walk into, they always mention this watch because it's a timeless piece. It's something that you just can't ignore, and I think everybody knows about this watch. Even if you're not into watches, you must admit that this is a very unique and pretty cool design, and like I said, it's timeless. It really, really is. So if you want to pick one of these up, then I highly recommend you doing so, because it's just such a nice watch to have, and it's a watch that you can use. A lot of these watches nowadays, you buy them and you can't use them because, like I said, you're afraid of dinging them up, or they might not keep time. But this is a real nice piece right here. You can use it, and you can really use it too, and it will take it. It will take anything that is thrown in its way, which is why I love it so much, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of it. I think I'm going to be keeping this for a very long time. Just like the Abarth, I just don't want to get rid of the thing. And it's a pretty good combo. Tudor P01, Abarth 595, I'd say that's a pretty good little combination, and I've loved it ever since. And well, I think that'll wrap it up for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was something different, and hey, I like doing different things on this channel. And how about I raise the camera up a bit and we'll do a proper outro. There we go, that's a bit better. So, like I said, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I thought, why not? Like I said at the start, Shmee, Mr. JWW, all those car YouTubers, they sometimes sneak in a little watch review. And I thought, hey, why not do a little review on the P01, see how it does. I mean, hey, if you like cars, you probably like watches. So I thought, why not combine the two on the channel? And what better watch to review than the P01? A timeless piece, a real classic, and it's just a great watch all around. Now, like I said earlier too, I will be reviewing this one as well. This lovely Tudor Blackway right here, which I cannot wait to do a review on. It's going to be very cool to review this watch. And this is a proper diver's watch. This is the stuff right here when it comes to diver's watches. And well, like I said, I will be doing a separate video for this very soon. So stay tuned for that. But for now, really hope you enjoyed this P01 review. And if you want any more content on this channel, like the watch reviews or anything else, as soon as it comes out, you guys know what to do. Hit that bell, like, comment and subscribe, because it's always appreciated. And well, this will be uploaded on the same day when I announced 300 subscribers. I still can't believe it. Thank you guys so much for that number. It's just insane. And well, I'll see you in the future, guys. Have a good one.